Alvin, how disappointed are you by your offense? I mean, this is the worst three-point shooting night of the whole season to come in this moment, and what went wrong offensively?
I think they had a lot to do with it tonight. You know, we didn't have the looks that we normally have. I think the way we started the game, we've had, two really good starts. Actually, we've had three really good starts against them. And we struggle at the start. And then I thought that we got away from the game plan discipline that we always talk about with this crew. And I thought they were really good defensively. I thought KD was really locked in defensively. And, and they can run you off the three-point line because they're so long that they can give you a step, but they can also challenge shots. So I thought they did a real good job with that. And then I thought that we pressed a little bit when we got behind. I tried to talk about and make them understand that it's just such a long game. 14-4, in the first 5 minutes of the game means absolutely nothing in this league. And as we know, we've seen teams with 25-point leads in the playoffs this year where teams have come back and won games. So we just never got into any kind of groove. Part of it was us. Part of it was I thought they were locked in, really locked in, and did a good job defensively.
Yeah. Alvin, obviously the Warriors starting lineup, the talent and experience speaks for itself, but how did you see that kind of change the dynamic of the game overall?
Oh, I didn't think it changed. I just thought that, you play against that lineup the majority of the game anyway. It's not anything new, at the end of the day, if you look at the numbers over the course of the whole season, it's going to be, Clay, Steph, Andre, Draymond, and whoever the hell I'm leaving out, Yeah, that guy KD. Oh, okay. Yeah. But, they really are. You're going to play against that particular lineup most of the night, whenever you play them. So it wasn't a surprise. And tell Nick, that he doesn't get credit for sticking Andre in the lineup this time either. Okay?
Coach, right over here. To go from pretty much dominating Game 3 to them dominating Game 4, what do you think was the biggest change, and what did you guys lose that you had in Game 3?
I told you right from the start, you're not going to beat them if you can't score 115 points. I don't care how good your defense is. I don't care what you do. You have to be able to score 110, 115 points to have any chance to beat them. And our offense wasn't. I didn't think that we had any kind of push, or the pace of the game wasn't anywhere where we need to have it to try to win the game. We didn't shoot the ball well, and like I said, some of that was us, some of that was them. But to score 92, you won't have a chance to beat them. I'm sure there's been a few teams this year. I remember early on, Boston winning a game against them, but over the course of a series, you're going to have to score a lot more than 92 to beat them.
Alvin, on your left, could you tell early on that KD was going to try and attack that Drew Holiday matchup?
Yeah, but we understand that. The guy's a great player and a terrific player and a great mid-range jump shooter, but you have to give up something, guys. If you start running around and double-teaming him, then you get everybody involved in the game. And once again, I thought we did a good job of taking one of those guys out of the game. You can't have all three of them have great nights. You got no chance. And I thought we did a good job, but we also had too many breakdowns for what we were trying to do from a game plan discipline standpoint. So when you do that, as I said in the first two games, they take total advantage of your mistakes or your miscues defensively, and they're able to score on them offensively.
Alvin, Steve just said there's not much you can do about KD when he's locked in like that. Do you agree with that?
He's an MVP, and he's an MVP of the final, so I think that kind of speaks for itself. But, you have to give up something to these guys. To think that you're just going to shut everything down that they do is just really unrealistic. So you got to decide, what can you live with. So it doesn't matter who you play on KD. he's probably going to have those kind of numbers. I think Drew does the best job of making him earn them. It's obviously it's hard when you're a 6'4" guy and you're playing against a guy really who's with his wingspan is probably 7'1", and so we just got to try to make him shoot those shots over the top, and then you got to try to take everybody else out of the game.
Coach, you talked about game plan discipline before the game and a little bit earlier. Defensively, it felt like there were opportunities where the Warriors had very easy passing lanes into the paint, and there was just the team was a step slow on rotations. Was that part of that tonight?
I don't know. We were probably a half a step slow. I'm not real sure, but it's just the decisions that we made. I didn't think they were the same as we did the other night. And so we broke some of the things that we were supposed to do. And as I said, when you do that against this team, they're just going to make you play. You just got to be really solid in what you're doing, and everyone's got to be connected at the hip, because when A goes, then B has to cover, and then C has to cover, and then D has to be back. So when you break that, they're going to read the situation. They're going to make you pay.
Being down 3-1 in the series now, what's kind of your message to these guys? 2 games you'd have to win at Oracle. I mean, what do you kind of tell them?
No, we got to win 1 game at Oracle, and that's the one that we play next. That's as far as we need to look, and so obviously it's a monumental task. It's been done before, and as I said to the guys, we just got to go and play. And, you're not out until they win 4 games. And so our message is that we have won there, and it's going to be a hard thing to do. But we got to go there with the understanding that we're going to play and give everything that we have. If it works out, we'll play again. If not, then our season will be over. That's all you guys got?
Alvin, actually, one more. You mentioned, your offense. How much?
Of course you would have one
yes,
more.
well, at this point, got to get him in while I can. The offense, how much of that have been affected just by having to take the ball out of the basket so often, not being able to get that transition game going? Rondo's mentioned that a lot.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, guys, they didn't shoot 60%. They shot 33% from 3. They were 11 for 33. They shot 46% for the night. So it wasn't taking the ball out of the basket so much as that we just didn't have the necessary spacing, and we didn't have the ball movement that we normally have. And against this team, it's imperative that you move the basketball and you move yourself. And I thought that we didn't do as good a job with that as we've done, in the past. Even the games we lost there, I thought we had better ball movement. All right. Is that it now? Okay. All right, guys. Thanks.